Quit smoking right now. This report is brought to you by http://www.quitsmokingtoday.com. You are free to reprint, republish and give away this report freely just as long as all links remain intact and no changes are made. 10 reasons to quit smoking today. We all know that thousands of people die each year from diseases brought about by smoking, and we are all aware that smoking is the culprit in the cause of many cancers. We've all been warned about the dangers and we are aware of the thousands of dangerous chemicals in cigarettes, but yet many people continue to smoke. Why do many people still do it? Why can't they just stop smoking and not continue to put their health and lives at risk? It's very easy for non-smokers to judge, ridicule and point the finger. They have no idea how difficult it is for most people to quit smoking. They don't realize how powerfully addictive the nicotine in cigarettes is. They simply don't understand. Yes, it's hard to quit, but you can quit smoking. Many people have quit successfully and never smoke again. Sometimes it's just a matter of getting past the first few days and then getting past the first few weeks, then it becomes much easier to stay away from them. Sometimes it's just a matter of finding the right quit smoking technique that works for you. Here's 10 reasons to quit smoking. 1. Your chance of developing many cancers will be drastically reduced. 2. Your family and friends will be able to breathe fresh air for a change. 3. You'll have more money in your pocket for much nicer things. 4. Your lungs and heart will finally be able to recover from all the abuse. 5. All those dangerous chemicals will eventually be flushed from your bloodstream. 6. You won't smell of stale cigarette smoke anymore. 7. Non-smokers will no longer see you as a weak addictive person. 8. You'll feel much healthier and stronger every day without cigarettes. 9. You'll feel a great sense of accomplishment soon after quitting and confidence will be high. 10. People who understand how difficult it really is will respect you and know that it is a great obstacle to finally defeat. So there's another 10 reasons to quit, and I'm sure you can think of many more reasons why you should quit this incredibly destructive habit. If you need another 30 reasons to quit, then follow this http://www.quitsmokingtoday.com. Giving up smoking takes discipline, commitment and time. At least we know that this habit can be overcome and eventually realize that we didn't need them at all. Quit smoking in less than 3 hours. Nicotine in cigarettes, addictive or not? The debate continues between medical experts and rehabilitation specialists as to whether or not nicotine in cigarettes is actually an addictive substance. Many people are unaware of the hotly debated topic of nicotine as an addictive substance. Some experts claim the substance is only a psychological addiction, while other specialists claim it is in fact a physiological affliction. I was once contacted by a professional hypnotist who rebuked me for my assertion that I had overcome a nicotine addiction. He proudly touted the fact that nicotine is not a bodily addiction and that my commentary on the issue was unethical. This notion is hilarious, really. I admit a little research will turn up mixed opinions on the issue. For instance, in 1996 top executives of leading tobacco companies made public claims downplaying the idea of nicotine as a physically addictive chemical. And numerous independent scientific studies have suggested that nicotine is either not the only addictive substance in cigarettes, or that this chemical only causes psychological dependency and no real physical addiction. On the other hand, in February 2000 the Royal College of Physicians published a report on nicotine addiction which concluded that cigarettes are highly efficient nicotine delivery devices and are as addictive as drugs such as heroin or cocaine. I'd actually like to take this article away from the flawed debate of physical versus psychological, and make a more relevant point. It makes no difference what scientists are able to prove in a lab at this stage. We all know smoking is a habit that becomes an obsession, and this obsession has killed millions of people. More importantly, for the purposes of this article, Numerous surveys have concluded that 80% or more of all smokers express a desire to quit, but say they have tried without success on multiple occasions. If that's not an addiction, I frankly don't know what is. All this talk about mental addiction, bodily addiction, etc. is totally moot. Quantum physics has done a fabulous job of proving the role of mind in actually creating the physical circumstances in an individual's life. With this in mind, the whole debate presented by tobacco company executives and hypnosis marketers loses all footing as far as I'm concerned. However you wish to slice it, smoking is an addiction. It's extremely difficult to break this deadly habit, and only those individuals with serious intention, a rock-solid plan, and a great support network are likely to achieve the ultimate goal of smoking cessation. Tim Whiston smoked 2 packs of cigarettes every day for many years, but he was able to put together a simple system that allowed him to drop the habit. Visit his site today for some great tips on how to stop smoking, plus be sure to check out his other smoking cessation articles. http://www.stopsmokingwiththem.com/http://stopsmokingwiththem.com/blog/ Possible connections between depression and smoking. According to statistics and anecdotal evidence, people who are depressed have a tendency to succumb to smoking as well. In some circles, it is believed that the more depressed a person is, the more likely that person is going to smoke. If the person is already smoking when the onset of depression arrives, then the person's habit is simply going to get worse. In some cases, it is believed that depression and smoking combines to turn something that was originally a habit into a full-blown psychological and physical addiction. This becomes apparent when the person attempts to kick the habit, where they suffer from unpredictable mood swings and symptoms of withdrawal. This problem likely stems from the regular doses of nicotine that the body gets, which cause the body to react abnormally if deprived of it. Smokers who try to quit often go through a wide range of negative physical and psychological reactions that are eerily similar to signs that someone is going through withdrawal of a narcotic substance. One particularly poignant reaction noted by observers is that depression develops quite rapidly in smokers who quit their habit. It has also been observed to become much worse if the person was depressed before he started smoking. Initially, it was believed that the chemicals in cigarette smoke were just acting on the body the same way a narcotic substance would, but that was never established as medical fact. For years, medical science has not entirely been sure why this was happening, but recent research seems to suggest that there might be something in cigarette smoke that is acting as an antidepressant. Analysis of previous statistics seemed to reflect that, with a large number of depression patients being smokers. It has also been long suspected that a number of smokers began smoking after experiencing a bout with depression, though this theory has never been studied or tested. Worth noting is a statistic that showed that people who experienced a major bout with depression while in a program designed to wean them off smoking were more likely to go back than those who didn't. According to the most recent findings related to this, 28% of people who became depressed while quitting were more likely to resume the habit, compared to only 14% for those who didn't. Nicotine is the best known and also the most prevalent substance in cigarettes, but it is not the only one. There are thousands of other compounds and substances that can be found in the typical cigarette, and any one of them could potentially have antidepressant effects. Tests have been implemented to find out just which of them is having this effect, if any of them are, but the sheer number of them can make such endeavors a long process. This is assuming that the theory that something in cigarettes is an antidepressant is an accurate one. However, if it is accurate, then smoking may be a means for the depressed to self-medicate, even if this is only done on a subconscious level. Testing may also have to be conducted in light of a new drug which is marketed under the brand name bupropion. The drug is designed to help smokers get off the habit, but has also been found to have antidepressant effects. If the above theory about cigarettes alleviating depression is correct, then in theory, users of bupropion ought to be less likely to go back to old habits. However, this is not taking certain factors, such as stress and peer pressure, into the equation. Harvion is currently working as a writer-researcher for an online pharmaceutical company. He also has a strong interest in horticulture, Japanese Zen garden construction, and Oriental flower culture. Choose variety of high-quality medicines at Online Medicines. Enjoyed reading this article? More here. Pharmacy articles http://www.americapharmacyworld.com/ 7 Simple Tips to Quit Smoking. Smoking can lead to many serious health and body complications. Despite the massive campaign to let the public know of the adverse effects of smoking to the body, millions of people are still smoking worldwide. Most people smoke because they think it's a cool or an in thing to do. Some adapt the habit because majority of people around them are smoking. The media and the intense advertisements of cigarette and tobacco manufacturers also play a big part in influencing many people, particularly the youngsters, to smoke. Upon realizing the effects and health consequences of smoking cigarettes and tobacco, some people want to quit the habit but can't seem to do so. The reason for this is that smoking is a psychological and physical addiction, hence, it is not that easy to quit smoking. Although quitting the habit involves a difficult process, it is not impossible to do, especially if the person is serious on quitting. If you are one of the millions of smokers who want to quit the habit but do not exactly know how to start, the following are 10 simple tips to quit smoking. 1. Have faith in yourself that you can quit smoking. Before anything else, it is important that you believe in yourself that you can quit the habit. Thinking about the difficult situations you have been through before may help you gather the determination you need to quit the habit. 2. Write down the reasons why you want to quit smoking. Your reasons for quitting the habit of smoking can be your family, your health, or money. Also note down the reasons why smoking is bad. Once you put everything on paper, you can read your list every day to remind you of your goal to quit smoking. 3. Seek support from family members and friends. The support of family and friends is important in the process of quitting the habit of smoking. Ask them to be more understanding and less judgmental on your condition. Also, inform them that you are likely to become irrational at some point during the process of quitting the habit. 4. Participate in exercise programs. Joining an exercise program is also a good therapy for you to quit smoking. Take note that exercise relieves the body from stress. It helps your body to recover from the damages brought by smoking cigarettes or tobacco. 5. Practice deep breathing. Deep breathing for 3 to 5 minutes every day aids in the process of withdrawing from your smoking habit. To do this, practice inhaling very slowly and holding your breath for a few seconds, then exhaling through the mouth. 6. Look for someone who also wants to quit smoking. Finding someone who also wants to quit smoking is a good way to cope with the withdrawal process. You can help each other through the process by giving out encouraging words and finding time to hear each other's thoughts and ramblings during rough moments. 7. Determine what triggers your addiction to smoke. It will be easier for you to quit smoking if you know what causes your addiction. Also, coping with the process of quitting is more tolerable once you avoid the factors that lure you to smoke. Francesca V. Pasqua is web content writer and researcher who specializes in health and fitness topics. Choose variety of high-quality medicines at ref http://www.americapharmacyworld.com/product.html, Online Medicines. Enjoyed reading this article? More here, ref http://www.americapharmacyworld.com/articles.html, Pharmacy articles. Permanently stops smoking. Do you need to permanently stop smoking? There's a few ways to stop completely. There are a few rules to follow which can also help ensure you get a better chance of permanent success. First off, to permanently stop smoking, you need to set up a few rules for yourself. For example, one rule is that you might not want to hang around certain friends or groups of people like you used to. I know whenever I quit smoking in the past, and it was a few times, I would eventually start smoking again when I saw a friend smoking and I'd ask him for a cigarette. In addition, certain places or even weather can trigger you to start smoking again. This is something to beware of. If you're aware of these things, then you can handle a craving by changing your focus and getting your mind off the present trigger. There are many triggers that can sabotage you and prevent you from permanently stop smoking if you're not fully aware of your present withdrawal from nicotine. Another thing you might consider is to decide why you are quitting smoking. Some smokers will simply quit because a spouse wants them to. Or they quit to please some other person who requested they quit. This motive may work for a while, but your chances of quitting permanently are not that great. You must have strong personal reasons for quitting smoking. Someone said to me once, "If you love yourself enough, then you won't continue smoking." I thought that was a very interesting way of seeing the situation, and it really made sense to me. That was one of the experiences that helped me decide to quit smoking permanently. I decided that I needed to start loving myself and my body enough to stop smoking permanently. It may be something different for you. Just make sure that you have strong personal convictions for quitting. It may be that you have decided you want to live a long life and be there for your kids. In this case, it would be your own decision to quit smoking for your kids. Your kids didn't ask you to quit. You, yourself, made the decision. This is the crucial difference, which can determine whether or not you permanently stop smoking. It's similar to other drug addictions in which the afflicted person has to want to quit him/herself. There are also drugs on the market, which can ease withdrawals from nicotine and help you quit smoking. So if you want to permanently stop smoking, have your personal reasons and possibly use a quit smoking aid to ease the process. Sam Ames teaches on the college level and submits articles to various publications. Click here and find out which product can help you stop smoking with no withdrawal symptoms. http://www.squidu.com/quit-smoking product reviews. Alan Carr's easy way to stop smoking. How does it work? It is extremely difficult to break a smoking habit, we all know that. It is virtually impossible to make a smoker stub out a cigarette when he or she has set a mind to smoke. But, this is exactly what Alan Carr has done in his life consistently, and that too millions of times over. He has devised a method of his own called as the Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking, and has even penned as many as 9 books writing about his method in detail. Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking is controversial as it does not tell the smoker to give up smoking at all. The only thing the smoker is supposed to do is to read the matter in the books thoroughly. There is no need to make a conscious effort at giving up smoking. However, it is to the credit of this technique that smokers give up their habit once the book is through, and within a year they will actually be off the habit for good. Alan Carr's Easy Way to Stop Smoking definitely differs from other stop smoking methods. This method works on the subconscious of the smoker, by letting him or her know that smoking is not actually as addictive as it is made out to be. There is no real pleasure in smoking, but smokers only try to satisfy some extrapolated urges. If you ask any smoker, they will invariably tell you that they are trying to quit the habit for good. Many of them may not do so actually because they are fearful of the withdrawal symptoms that might come in. Even if they are quitting the habit, they might get worried about the withdrawal symptoms and light just one more cigarette. But little do they realize that this one more cigarette will bring in withdrawal symptoms of its own. This could snowball into a kind of addiction, born out of fear. and it would convert the casual smoker into a chain smoker. All books on the Alan Carr's easy way to stop smoking emphasize on the point that it is very easy to give up smoking. Actually speaking, there is nothing to give up, because smoking is not an addiction at all. It is hardly the nicotine that causes the craving for the cigarette. Smokers' love for their white sticks of death stems from several other reasons. It is a very significant fact that most smokers smoke not because they like the smell or taste of the ingredients of the cigarette, but because they want to cater to some deep-set personality trait. It could be something as simple as the craving to appear macho, or something much more subtle, like smoking in a social circle. Whatever be the real case, when a person investigates within, definite conclusions make their appearance as to how smoking can be kept at bay. That is the basic premise of the Alan Carr's easy way to stop smoking. It does not tell the smoker to stop smoking concretely, but it does finally exhort the smoker to conjure up a strong determination to give up. In addition, there are some statistics in the books that will stir the hearts of even extremely stone-hard smokers. Alan Carr's easy way to stop smoking has become very popular today, and that stems from the effectiveness of the method. Even before the book is over, smokers will make a firm decision to quit as soon as possible. So effective is this method, that it has an almost 95% success rate, a success rate that is rivaled only by herbal stop smoking methods, such as the Smokerx. Serious about quitting smoking? I mean really serious. Smokerx is the most amazing herbal quit smoking pill you'll find. 100% guaranteed. 98% success based on product returns. Quit smoking herbal today with all natural Smokerx. It works. Period. http://www.smokerx.tv/ Stop smoking without cravings. Have you want to stop smoking without cravings, but have not really known the right way to stop? What if I told you that you could be smoke-free forever? It's really not as hard as you may think. You can learn how you can be smoke-free forever. I was a smoker too. I know how it feels to crave for a cigarette. I know all the little habits related to smoking. Coming back from work, sit for a while with a cup of coffee and smoke a cigarette. Try to relax from a hectic day at the office. When you need to focus your thoughts and come up with some creative idea, the little white stick is the right thing to get you in the correct mood. But if you smoke, you will be 12 times more likely to die from a lung cancer. You will be 10 times more likely to die from some form of lung disease. You will be 10 times more likely to die from cancer of the larynx. You will be 6 times more likely to die of heart disease. You will be twice as likely to die of a stroke. If you stop smoking now, you can increase your chances of living from 2 to 12 times longer and save thousands of dollars in medical expenses and the cost of cigarettes. Smoking is a bad, expensive habit. On top of that, it makes you stink and turns your teeth yellow. Are you ready to consider how and when do you want to stop smoking without cravings? There are only two ways to effectively stop smoking without cravings: immediately cold turkey, or gradually. When you quit gradually, you use various methods to taper off before you have that last cigarette. Neither way is better than the other for all people. Pick the one that you feel fits your temperament. Either way, a nicotine patch may prove to be a real benefit in giving up, especially if you are a heavy smoker. In order to have the confidence to quit, you, 1, must find an alternative to handle the urge to smoke, when it hits, and, 2, create ways to deal with the reasons that you smoked in the first place. Accomplish both these tasks so that when the day comes that you had planned to quit, you will be confident to stop smoking without cravings. My name is Mr. Clean, and I have it since I have managed to become clean. I was a smoker just like you and enjoyed it very much. I did care regarding the smell or my teeth. I came to the point where I had to actually replace 8 of my teeth because of smoking. This was the first time I understood I had to quit. 3 years later I am clean, healthier, smells better, and know that anyone can do the same as I did. Mr. Clean. http://www.easyquitsystem.com/question hop=rasm. How you can stop smoking for the new year. One of the most traditional New Year's resolutions is to stop smoking. With more and more countries and states introducing smoking bans in public places, stopping smoking is becoming a very serious thought for many people. Stopping smoking, though, is not as easy as just putting the packet down, at least not for most people. It takes willpower, support, and a real desire to quit that habit. Before you decide to stop smoking for the new year, ask yourself why you want to stop smoking. Do you want to stop smoking because of the cost? Because of your health? Because of how it affects the people around you? Who do you want to stop smoking for? Do you want to stop smoking because your wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend wants you to? Or do you want to stop smoking for yourself, because you want to? If you are serious about stopping smoking, then you must be stopping for yourself and for no one else. If you are stopping for someone else, then you don't really want to stop and are much more likely to start the habit again. Ask yourself why you are stopping and, if necessary, write it down so you can see it in black and white. Once you have made the decision to stop, the next step is to actually stop. There are a lot of options available to you, and the way you do it will depend entirely on you. Different ways work for different people. One method of stopping is to gradually cut down your smoking each day until you eventually stop. If you choose this way, then make sure you have a plan for how much you will reduce your smoking each week and a target date for stopping. Another method is to go cold turkey. Smoke your last cigarette and then throw everything to do with them away and enjoy your new life as a non-smoker. This way often requires much more willpower and will work very well for some people. Either of these methods can be supported with nicotine supplements such as patches or gum, if you feel it is best for you. Probably the best way of stopping smoking is to visit a hypnotist who will help you stop smoking. In the hypnosis session, the hypnotist will work with your subconscious to help you become a non-smoker. Hypnosis has a very high degree of success, and the best way to find a qualified hypnotist is to get recommendations from friends or to contact your National Hypnosis Guild. Not everyone wants to attend a one-to-one hypnosis session, but you can still benefit from hypnosis through a hypnosis CD or MP3 program. These are very similar to the one-on-one sessions, but are recorded onto CD for you to listen to whenever you want. A Stop Smoking Hypnosis CD is a very affordable and powerful way for you to stop smoking easily. There are a lot on the market, and cheapest is not always the best. Make sure you listen to samples and that you like the voice on the program. You can also get a subliminal stop smoking hypnosis program, which you can listen to almost anywhere. In these programs you will listen to some relaxing music whilst your subconscious is listening to the embedded hypnotic messages which are helping you to become a non-smoker. Whatever your choice of methods for stopping smoking, the new year is an excellent time to quit the habit and enjoy a new healthy life as a non-smoker. For more information on how to stop smoking, visit www.freefromtobacco.com today. What you need to know about smoking. Cigarette boxes always state, cigarette smoking is dangerous to your health, at the back of the boxes, or at the end of their commercial ads. But do people really heed these government warnings? Do people really understand what smoking does to them? In the United States, an approximate of 25.1 million men and 20.9 million women are smokers. It is quite alarming to know that quite a huge chunk of the smoking population belongs to a younger age group. Almost 27% of smokers are between the ages of 18 and 24. A recent survey showed that almost 23% of high school students were current smokers, and that most of these high school smokers were white and Hispanic students. Cigarettes. A cigarette is made out of cured and finely cut tobacco leaves and reconstituted tobacco combined with certain additives rolled and stuffed into a paper cylinder. The act of lighting a cigarette to make for the purpose of inhaling its smoke byproduct is called cigarette smoking. Cigarette smoking and its effect. Around 440,000 people die in the United States from any form of tobacco use. Nearly 1 out of 5 deaths is linked to smoking. It beats alcohol, car accidents, suicides, AIDS, homicide, and illegal drugs put together. But how does cigarette smoking kill? An approximated 400 chemicals are present in cigarette smoke, and most of them are toxic to the human body. Certain ingredients found in cigarettes may affect as much as the internal functioning of your body organs to the efficiency of your body's immune system. Continued cigarette smoking may cause a multitude of different medical complications, and at worst, the effects may be fatal. These include cancer. Cigarette smoking is responsible for at least 30% of all cancer deaths in the United States. It is the major cause for these forms of cancer: lungs, larynx, or the voice box, oral cavity, pharynx, or the throat, esophagus. Cigarette smoking is also said to be a contributory factor in developing these forms of cancer: bladder, pancreas, liver, uterus and cervix, stomach, colon, rectum, heart diseases. Cigarette smoke contains very fine particles that penetrate the alveolar wall into the blood and exert their effects on the heart in a short span of time. Among these heart diseases are heart attack, stroke, lung diseases, emphysema, bronchitis, pregnancy complications, miscarriage, early delivery, or premature delivery, stillbirth, sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS, low birth weight. In addition, smoking is not only harmful to your own body. In the long run, it will take its toll on the people surrounding you, through secondhand smoke. So if you care about your own health and for others as well, don't get started with the habit. If you're a cigarette smoker, try and quit the habit. Your body will thank you for it. The writer, Abby Grace Yap, is an active advocate for health consciousness and disease awareness. She possesses a deep passion in discovering new health-related information and sharing it to her readers. Choose variety of high-quality medicines at Online Medicines. Enjoyed reading this article? More here. Pharmacy articles: http://www.americapharmacyworld.com/ Quit smoking support. Smoking is a very difficult problem to solve without good quit smoking support. A good plan is critical when you aspire to a nicotine-free life. Stopping this unhealthy habit isn't an easy task, but it is not impossible either. The truth is that with quit smoking support, millions have kicked the problem and now live a typical and healthy life. Many smokers simply neglect the risks involved and don't ask for quit smoking support. They are often the victims to heart problems or lung cancer. This happens because smokers aren't aware of the dangers they encounter, and they only find balance with professional quit smoking support. Statistics prove that half of the people that smoke may die from a smoking-related illness. Smoking harms all the body organs and it simply reduces one's well-being. Looking for quit smoking support may save your life. Quit smoking support plans have a higher likelihood of achievement because the person will try to prepare for the upcoming problems. Many are still wondering today why it is so difficult to quit smoking. The answer was given by specialists many times before: smoking is both a physical and a mental problem that can be solved with professional quit smoking support. Beyond the physical problems, a quit smoking support program will help one face the psychological and the physical cravings. A quit smoking support solution will firstly identify the mental causes that activate the need to smoke. Nicotine is the substance that causes unpleasant symptoms when trying to quit. Its withdrawal from the system is at the root of the entire quitting crisis. Many health associations providing quit smoking support and instructions have concluded that nicotine is as dangerous as heroin and cocaine in terms of dependence. When you smoke, Nicotine reaches the brain within seconds and triggers a number of body changes like a small release of adrenaline and dopamine. Quit smoking programs will teach you how to deal with nicotine asceticism. The dopamine gives you the sensation of relaxation and satisfaction, but it lasts only for 2 or 3 minutes when you will need another cigarette in order to relax again. For an increased chance to stop smoking, look for suggestions over the internet. A good place to start your search is the Easy Quit system, where you will probably find good advice and quit smoking support solutions. http://www.easyquitsystem.com/question-hop=10 best deal. Craving to smoke. The time a person starts to smoke he/she is actually calling for trouble. For many people, smoking has become an addiction and they shell out a lot of money for smoking, and this doesn't help anyone's cause. You might have got into smoking for any reason. It can be due to your friend circle where you thought smoking is a cool trend and you might happen to look cool, or maybe because you think it'll relieve your stress and offer companionship in tense periods. Instead of acting as a physical or mental stress reliever, it actually increases them. Once addicted to smoking, it is not easy for any person to quit this addictive habit, and there comes a time when a smoker happens to crave for more smokes one after the other. Surely you are aware of its effects, where you get cancer or many related diseases that can lessen your life expectancy. With the amount of people that are affected and the gradual increase of the smoking population, it's certainly a global concern. A new method to completely halt this addictive habit of yours is the Hypnosis system. The Hypnosis system can save you from smoking and is hailed as a great alternative to quit smoking techniques because there are no side effects and neither will you be disturbed by the sudden change you will be undergoing. In fact, you will find out that you are no more the same person who was smoking each day, whether continuously or at intervals. You will be a changed person, and wouldn't you like to hear all those praises from your loved ones? They won't have the fear of losing you all too soon. However, it is all up to you to decide whether you will give the smoking hypnosis system a chance. It is a reliable method to quit smoking. However, it is not possible for every person to make time for hypnosis sessions with the hypnotherapist, neither would you be too keen on spending money on every session. The affordable alternative is a hypnosis CD to stop smoking. Many people around the globe have used this and they have realized that this method has truly helped them to a very great extent at a very low cost. The smoking hypnosis system is not a therapy that every person can afford, as the amount charged for this expert treatment is high. The hypnosis CD to stop smoking, however, can be used as per your convenience. The advantages of hypnosis helps to defeat a smoker's cause to a great extent. Hypnosis for stopping smoking is also available online in the form of MP3 downloads and sometimes in CD format. These are great as you can simply plug in your headphones and get the great results that you want. You can also burn your Stop Smoking MP3 to disk and play it anywhere you wish, or to keep up with the times, you could have it on your MP3 player and use it as and when needed. Whatever you choose, this way you could get the results that you need without paying the earth for it. For more on Stop Smoking Hypnosis and a Hypnosis CD to stop smoking, visit the website of Richard Mackenzie. http://www.richardmackenziedirect.com/stopsmokinghypnosis.htm. Tips for quit smoking. The huge mass of populace who smoke desire they could give up. It is a depressing truth of nicotine habit, as it holds on people long behind for getting free. Life is much better with no cigarettes in it. 2. Everyone knows that smoking is bad for health, but most the people, like other smokers, avoid seeing the damage smoking makes every time. By reading everything about smoking can help a lot to stop smoking. It will assist to make the mind transfer essential to give up smoking. 3. Reasoning is a helpful tool for someone trying to give up smoking. Begin with the list of grounds for stopping. comprise everything from large to little and leave room to insert. Imagine on the good and bad of smoking and create list as to the point as feasible. 4. Getting people who are concerned about the success is very significant. Smoking end throws body into distress at first. If proper fuel is given to the body for running properly, one may find that the body is able to cope with the anxieties of nicotine leaving. 5. When people feel tired, desires to smoke will get stronger while feeling less capable to managing them. Take a full long 8 hours of sleep every night and a dose here and there if required. 6. Water will assist to wash out remaining toxins out of the system and will help beating back desires of smoking. If the person is hydrated, he may feel better in common, at the time of nicotine withdrawal. 7. Regular exercise in this period is one of the best ways to combat the crisis. Choose such exercises that the person may enjoy doing and will prefer sticking with it for a long period of time. Plan for at least half hour of exercise each day. Walking is a grand approach to move and it is fast heal to combat the urge to smoke. It will help a lot to quit smoking. 8. The purpose should be to give up smoking one day. Each smoke-free day builds the person stronger, and when someone consciously gives time to replicate and share in the value of what he is doing, he will working to reinforce to make this the suspend that will last for lifetime. Accept the gratitude, relax at the time of giving up and hug cravings to smoke as they approach. Do not fight for the urges and ride them out. Most of such cravings last for 3 to 5 minutes. Stopping tobacco is a reward and not surrenders. Quit Smoking Critic continually makes publications on issues associated with dangers of smoking and how to stop smoking. With their writings on how to quit smoking, the author demonstrated his deep knowledge in the area. http://www.quitsmokingcritic.com/ Home remedies to quit smoking. Smoking has been the biggest problem ever for mankind. Though it is a very small problem at one instance, but its root goes very deep. Several people in this earth have lost their lives just because of this. A study shows that out of every 10 deaths caused by lung cancer, 9 are caused due to smoking. Such is the gravity of this problem. Many people remain unaware from this. Some deliberately try to remain ignorant from the fact that smoking is harming their health in leaps and bounds. Rest who realize that they should quit smoking succumb to their own temptation to smoke, and most of them return halfway and revert back to smoking again. Thus the final result is that very less number of people are actually able to quit smoking. There are several ways to stop smoking. There are various therapies and meditation programs also available which will help you in quitting smoking. However, many a times the person who wants to quit smoking lacks consistency and thus stops going to such classes or attending such programs. Thus again he/she falls under the same trap and start again to smoke. Thus, in order to make your program of quitting smoking quite easy and accessible, there are various home remedies that are available through which you can quit smoking easily. Home remedies involve very easy steps and uses extremely easily accessible things to enable the person to quit smoking. First of all, the most used technique to quit smoking is to intake honey. You can either take honey as it is, or else you can intake it through a juice which is prepared out of fresh grated radish. Honey is rich in vitamins, proteins, amino acids and enzymes which in turn help in quitting smoking habits. The juice mentioned above is a good home remedy to quit smoking as it also involves honey. You can also increase the intake of alkaline foods as they are very much helpful in quitting smoking. Another effective home remedy is to chew licorice stick. As smokers have the habit of having something in their hands and also in their mouths, so it will act as a great substitute for cigarettes. Chewing licorice stick will keep your hands and mouth busy and will also help you to quit smoking. Thus these are some of the effective home remedies which can be applied to quit smoking. Quit Smoking Critic continually makes publications on issues associated with dangers of smoking and how to stop smoking. With their writings on how to quit smoking, the author demonstrated his deep knowledge in the area. http://www.quitsmokingcritic.com/ The uncomplicated means to cease smoking tobacco. Peruse the information superhighway or watch the idiot box and you'll look at promotions that lead you to acknowledge that there are numerous, perhaps even thousands of techniques to renounce smoking. Nicotine applications, nicotine gum, inhalers, nasal spray, pills and the old favorite, cold turkey, are all prevailing methods. Nevertheless, with this list of alternatives for you to pick from, a smoker is going to wonder just what are the most helpful, low-cost and of course, the most straightforward system to end smoking tobacco products. On occasions, the greatest faux pas a smoker can make throughout hunting among the many systems to relinquish smoking tobacco is they believe that they need to determine the greatest help or item in his or her struggle against tobacco smoking. They are discouraged to use one system because they believe a different one may be better productive. It is important not to get thwarted by the countless systems when deciding methods to break the habit of tobacco smoking. There isn't in general a correct or improper preference to make, purely a choice that must have accomplishment. It is crucial to recall there are countless organic and clear systems to relinquish tobacco smoking. If you are someone that needs to pursue cold turkey and simply quit, you must consider a few points to aid you along the way. Firstly, be conscious of your diet. You'll get longings to consume something, and if you gobble up calorific snacks and convenience food, this will just result in a tummy upset and you becoming ill. If you feel uncomfortable, you'll feel a desire to reach for a cigarette. Secondly, ensure you drink plenty of fluids, particularly water. This can expel the tar and nicotine from your system quicker. Many of the useful methods to cease smoking tobacco products relate to ridding nicotine out of your body bit by bit, but if you're deliberating cold turkey, you are required to remove it as quickly as is feasible. So do not forget in taking fluids, importantly water. Sip a little throughout the day, each and every day. Thirdly, it's relevant to do calisthenics. This will assist your blood to move at optimum capacity and will also help get the nicotine pumped out. It is also able to help renew your cells that were damaged by tobacco smoking and may make you feel stronger throughout your whole body. In the end, there is a multitude of techniques to renounce cigarette smoking, and it is possibly irrational to state that any of them are straightforward. However, by persistence and self-confidence and the agreement to take care of yourself whilst giving up, you can happily break this fixation. There are many straightforward ways to quit smoking and some are outlined on my website. http://www.aids.quitsmoking.com/ways to quit smoking/ webmasters are also invited to use our Quit Smoking affiliate program. http://www.affiliatedjargon.com/stop-smoking-affiliate-program/. Is there an effective break the habit of smoking cigarettes lozenge? It's amazing that we live in an age where the majority of our ailments and visible complications can be repaired or at least challenged by using an uncomplicated tablet. With an abundance of basic remedies purchasable in capsule form presently, some smokers will speculate if there undoubtedly is a competent give-up cigarette smoking lozenge which is accessible, inexpensive and that beyond doubt will produce. Thankfully for many who need to give up smoking, there are countless items accessible currently, that have the ability to assist in the end tobacco smoking. Trosh is one such treatment. They are swallowed to diminish the hunger to smoke tobacco or to recede the effects of symptoms of withdrawal. To accept it kick the habit of tobacco smoking pills are Wellbutrin and Zyban. Zyban is in reality an antidepressant medication and it frees endorphins by rousing the pituitary gland. The endorphins raise fortitude measures and encourage an individual to have a positive outlook. Most of these kinds of pills use bupropion hydrochloride to battle withdrawal signs. The normal course takes place over 8 to 12 weeks. People that break the habit too soon or who consume the capsules occasionally will not obtain the alleviation from the treatment since its follow-through is collective. Renowned tobacco smoking trotches typically come with particular documentation on their use, and these instructions need to be obeyed to the letter. The tablets must be consumed for a minimum of a week, at which point you should forge ahead cigarette smoking. You have to plan to end cigarette smoking during the second week. If you have not ended tobacco smoking by the 7th week of Zyban medication, it is doubtful you'll quit throughout that attempt, and Zyban therapy has to be ceased. This type of stop smoking tobacco troche is only available via prescription and results in some side issues that your doctor will make clear for you. For individuals who are anxious with the price or the reactions of the cease smoking cigarette spilules, there are hundreds of alternative products accessible in chemists today to help them. This could involve nicotine gum or patches, or perhaps hypnotism. Countless previous tobacco smokers have reported remarkable experiences with these types of products and intervals of treatment, so it is good to beware of that. An individual hoping to break the habit of tobacco smoking has choices relative to the aid that's on the market. Conceivably one day there may be an uncostly, certain, reaction-free quit smoking lozenge obtainable, but for now, you can obviously discuss with your practitioner about the alternative options if you are all set to relinquish the compulsion of smoking. In order to quit, some smokers use stop smoking pills to wean them off their habit. More information on these pills can be found at my website, http://www.aidstopquitsmoking.com/stop-smoking-pills/webmasters are also invited to use our quit smoking affiliate program. http://www.affiliateddragon.com/stop-smoking-affiliate-program/ Quit smoking to live longer. Habits are an inevitable part of one's life. During one lifetime we tend to have several habits. There are some habits that we purposefully undertake and some we undertake unknowingly. Out of these habits that we undertake in our life, some are good and some are bad. However, there are some habits which are extremely bad and harmful. It is so harmful that it can take one's life. Though it is said that habits can never be changed, it is not always true. Smoking is one such habit which can destroy one's life and even can harm people who are with him all the time. Apart from taking life, smoking has many other harmful effects. It is actually a slow poison which attacks you slowly and slowly. It hollows you from inside and gradually destroys your health from inside. Many people think of quitting smoking, but very few of them find success in fulfilling their pledge. It is not that one cannot stop smoking. The bare reality is one doesn't want to quit smoking. There are lots of problems that are created because of smoking. First of all, the tobacco which is present in the cigarettes is very harmful for health. It also contains a considerable amount of nicotine, which is further harmful for one's health. Nicotine, being a chemical element, targets directly your brain and neural system. It slows down your reflexes and also makes one feel the urge to smoke more and more. However, you cannot take the excuse of this fact for not quitting smoking. There is nothing above self-determination. As such, there is nothing impossible in this world. It's only that one has not tried the same or has not found success regarding the same. Otherwise, there are people who have landed on moon and also who have reached the unreachable heights of different mountains. There are various rehabilitation centers which are set up for bringing the people in track who are drug addicts or alcoholics. However, there are not much rehabilitation centers to help people who are addicted to smoking. Still, there are sufficient. Above all, it's your own self-determination which will help you in quitting smoking. Many people are also not aware of the harmful effects of cigarettes and thus get caught in its trap. However, there are people who, even after being aware of the same, don't quit smoking. Smoking is equally bad for both men and women. Thus, quitting smoking will help you in living longer and leading a healthy life. Quit Smoking Critic continually makes publications on issues associated with dangers of smoking and how to stop smoking. With their writings on how to quit smoking, the author demonstrated his deep knowledge in the area. http://www.quitsmokingcritic.com/ Why quit smoking? You've heard it a million times. Smoking is a filthy habit. It makes you smell bad and it destroys your health. You are thinking about quitting, but you're not sure how to go about it. Quitting smoking may well be one of the hardest things you ever do, but the payoff will be well worth the effort. Cigarette smoking is the most significant cause of preventable illnesses and premature death in Canada. Over 45,000 Canadians die each year from tobacco-related diseases. Good reasons for quitting. In addition to the money you'll save when you stop buying tobacco products, there are some excellent health reasons for quitting, even if you only smoke a few cigarettes once in a while. The following are just a few of the ways smoking harms your health. Cancer. Smoking is the main culprit in 87% of all lung cancer cases. It is also the primary cause of cancers in the esophagus, larynx, throat, and mouth, and it plays a role in the development of cancer of the bladder, pancreas, liver, kidney, cervix, stomach, colon and rectum, and some leukemias. Lung problems. Smoking is the leading cause of lung problems, including emphysema and chronic bronchitis. Heart disease. Smokers have an increased risk of cardiovascular disease, the #1 killer of Canadians' fertility problems. Smoking increases the risk of infertility and miscarriage in women and the risk of infertility and impotence in men. Pregnancy risks. Women who smoke while they are pregnant increase the risk of low birth weight babies, premature delivery, and newborns with lung problems. Smoking also damages your appearance, yellowing your teeth, fingers, and fingernails. It can irritate and dry your skin, leading to premature wrinkling and aging. It also deadens your senses of taste and smell. Don't forget that while it is doing all of this to your body, your second-hand smoke is causing the same damage to the people around you. Taking the first step. Okay, you've made your mind up to quit. Now what? The first step is to figure out why you smoke. That may sound simple, you smoke because you like it. But if you dig a little deeper, you will find patterns that point to underlying reasons. Knowing this will help you develop a successful quitting strategy. For example, do you reach for a cigarette when you feel tense or nervous? Are you more likely to smoke when you are socializing with friends? Do you enjoy the ritual of handling the cigarette, of taking it out of the pack and lighting it? Once you know what triggers you to reach for a cigarette, you can begin to develop a plan for overcoming the urge to smoke. For many people, the plan begins with a list of reasons why they want to quit. The list may include using the cigarette money to finance a family vacation, wanting to live a long and healthy life so you can enjoy your children and grandchildren, the desire to pay less for life insurance, or being tired of huddling outdoors in the cold winters or broiling summers during your coffee break with the other smokers. Whatever your reasons, write them down and carry them with you in your wallet or purse. That way, when the urge strikes, you can remind yourself why you decided to quit and why the rocky road to success is worth it. Some people find it helpful to keep a cigarette diary to track their progress. This will also help identify those situations that make quitting even harder. For example, if you find that you always smoke with your first cup of coffee in the morning, try changing your routine. You could delay that first cup, change where you drink it, or switch to tea or another beverage. Need more help quitting smoking? Go ahead and join a free 10 days Stop Smoking email program that will teach you how to quit smoking right now. http://stopsmoking.fitnesstipsforlife.com/ What happens to your body when you quit smoking? While you want to stop, you might not know what happens to your body when you quit smoking. In addition to nicotine, cigarettes contain many chemicals that affect your health in very damaging ways. It might be difficult to believe, But healing begins within 20 minutes when you quit smoking. Within the first 20 minutes of quitting, your healing process begins. Your blood pressure decreases, your pulse rate drops, and the body temperature of your hands and feet increases. These benefits will continue to improve your health for years. After 8 hours of quitting smoking, the carbon monoxide level in your blood drops to normal and the oxygen level in your blood increases to normal. At 24 hours, your chance of a heart attack decreases. At 48 hours, your nerve endings begin regrowth and your ability to smell and taste improves. And the benefits of quitting smoking are just beginning. Between 2 weeks and the months of stopping, your circulation improves, walking becomes easier, and your lung function increases. Your worst nicotine withdrawal symptoms subside within the first month. After that, you learn how to decipher and reprogram the psychological urges to smoke that you've all built up over the years. Starting as early as a month after you quit smoking, and continuing for the next several months, you may notice significant improvements in coughing, sinus congestion, fatigue, and shortness of breath. At 1 year smoke-free, your excess risk of coronary heart disease is decreased to half that of a smoker. Once you put a year between you and the last cigarette you smoke, congratulate yourself. Be grateful for the freedom you have created for yourself. The benefits of the positive choices you've made will continue to grow as you move forward from here. For all of the work it takes to shed your addiction to nicotine, the incredible feelings of freedom and control you'll be rewarded with when you quit smoking are just the beginning of the benefits headed your way. At 2 years smoke-free, your chance of achieving long-term success with quitting tobacco increases significantly. Smoking relapse rates drop off sharply after 2 years. At 5 years after quitting tobacco, your stroke risk is reduced to that of people who have never smoked. At 10 years smoke-free, your risk of lung cancer drops to as little as 1/2 that of continuing smokers, and your risk of cancer of the mouth, throat, esophagus, bladder, kidney, and pancreas decreases. Your risk of ulcers also decreases. At 15 years smoke-free, your risk of coronary heart disease is similar to that of people who have never smoked, and your risk of death returns to nearly the level of people who have never smoked. It may be difficult to imagine yourself as an ex-smoker with 15 years of freedom from the habit. It is possible, and it starts with the first step of making the commitment to quit, and then taking action. From there, it's just a day-by-day process. Now that you have seen what happens to your body when you quit smoking, you'll want to stop as quickly as possible. Don't let smoking waste any more of your life. Joan Yankites writes on a wide variety of health topics. She can show you the where to get free help to quit smoking. http://www.healthalivingtimes.com/archives/2007/12/17/ where to get free help to quit smoking/ The battle to stop smoking begins with you. Summoning the willpower to quit smoking is one of the most challenging tasks that many adults will face. Cigarettes are easily accessible and socially accepted, and that it can be hard to stay away from them. With other forms of chemical dependency, addicts must remove themselves completely from the culture that supports their habit. When you can buy your drug of choice at the local supermarket though, this becomes a much greater challenge. Though there are stories of folks who were able to simply walk away, the more common tale is one of struggle and repeated failure. Perhaps the most important thing that you can do if you have decided that you want to stop smoking is to enlist the help of a friend or family member to hold you accountable. Having someone there to provide encouragement along the way will be more valuable than any stop smoking product that you can buy. It is important to remember that smoking can be just as much an emotional addiction as it is physical. While different sides of the medical community try to argue either side, it is probably safe to conclude that both factors come into play. That is why you need to ensure that you'll have great support around you to complement the consumer products that you have chosen to help you quit smoking. There are, of course, a number of consumer products on the market to help you stop smoking. Everything from chewing gum, arm patches, and hypnotic sessions claim to have the ability to curb your cravings for the next cigarette. Some smokers have found these products to be helpful in varying degrees, but it is important to remember that they are only tools. The ultimate decision to quit must still come from inside of you. For many smokers, the willpower to quit smoking is driven more by a concern for other people in their lives than by concern for themselves. New parents decide that they don't want their kids to grow up exposed to second-hand smoke, and grandparents decide that they want their grandkids to know them on into adulthood. These family ties are strong motivators and have been the key to success for many adults who have quit smoking. If you do decide, preferably with the help of your doctor, to use one of the commercial products available to help you stop smoking, you should do plenty of research ahead of time so that you know what to expect. Familiarize yourself with the dosages, as some decrease gradually over time and others stay constant. You should also make it a point to be ready for any side effects that may occur. In the battle to quit smoking, the responsibility ultimately lands on you. While you can utilize the best products available and surround yourself with a strong network of support, none of that will help if you haven't made a commitment to yourself to stop smoking. Take the first step. Decide that you won't be a slave to addiction and that you will do whatever it takes to improve the quality of your life, and in turn, the quality of life for your loved ones. Carr devotes most of his time researching to help smokers with information and resources on various quit smoking products and programs that are available today. For more information visit the website at http://endthehabitnow.com. Carr devotes most of his time researching to help smokers with information and resources on various quit smoking products and programs that are available today. For more information visit the website at http://endthehabitnow.com. Stop smoking, 3 easy ways to quit the puff. Smoking often gets started as a fun among friends and ends with ruining one's life personally as well as professionally. People who are used to smoke at regularly basis are not only at potential risks of getting deadly diseases like cancer but also make people surrounding them vulnerable to these diseases. Your puffs can wreck your relationships. Thus, it is always better to restrain oneself from smoking. But if one has got webbed with this vicious habit, he needs to quit his habit of smoking for his welfare and for the sake of well-being of his family. Though it is never easy to quit smoking if you have become a chain smoker, but few things can really help you get over with this sin. First and most important is self-belief. You have to entrust yourself that you can quit. To make your belief, you need to recollect the bad experiences you have encountered in past and then the way you emerged as a winner over those conditions and circumstances. This helps you to imbibe a confidence level in yourself that you have the power to quit this bad habit of yours. You have faced many more difficult situations than this and handled them well, so this is another bad phase of yours you need to overcome. The next thing is to have a self-control over you, also called self-control. You need to show your resistance and willpower whenever someone offers you cigarette. You can get drool for a single puff and one generally thinks from next time I will not smoke. But there lies the problem. You console yourself to be resistant next time but sad, this way next time never comes up. Make a commitment with your loved one and always keep in your mind that you are going to ditch her/him by taking even a single puff of cigarette. Just remember that person and think, can you accept that person ditching you? If no, then you need to stop yourself as you are doing the same thing and that person can't accept you not keeping the promise you made with her/him. Another factor which proves how fast you quit smoking is how long you can sustain your commitment to quit smoking. It is pretty easy for a person to keep his resolution of not to smoke for a shorter period, but it needs real commitment from you to make it a long-term decision. Without effective support of family and friends, it is hard to keep your resolution. Ask your family and friends to push you hard to not to allow you to smoke whatever plea you can take, and if possible for you, ask them to punish you if you got caught smoking. Another way to sustain the will to quit smoking is to jot down on a paper your reasons to quit and benefits. Make a habit to read that paper every day. Just following these simple ways, you can overcome your habit of smoking. Jolto runs a site teaching self-hypnosis, stop smoking hypnosis and free self-hypnosis. Free tips today. http://www.mybestsellhypnosis.com/http://www.mybestsellhypnosis.com/stop_smoking_hypnosis.html. Quit smoking. How to quit smoking with exercise. When you decide to quit smoking, you'll bring on other changes in your life as well. Smoking is a very addictive habit, meaning that it is very hard to quit. There are a lot of changes that take place, although exercise can be a big help to you when you decide to quit. Try to set a new routine, such as working out or going to the gym. If that isn't possible, you should try waking up earlier and going for a short walk. If you can turn that walk into a run or a jog, it is going to be very stimulating and the best way that you can start your day. Keep in mind that exercise doesn't really mean pumping metal. If you don't have the time to stop by the gym every day, then it isn't really that big of a problem, as you can always choose to work out at home. Whether you choose to work out at home or at a gym, you should always remember that regularity is the key. It isn't getting started that's the difficult part, it's sticking to a regular exercise program that is difficult and proves to be stumbling block for most people. Some people have a great start. They will buy tracksuits, gym wear, running shoes, and a lot of other gear, so their first day at the gym is almost like a celebration. As the days go by, they find it very difficult to meet the demands and their routine will slow down a lot and finally come to a complete exercise burnout. One mistake that several people make is choosing the evenings to exercise. If evenings fit your lifestyle, then it's fine. For most people, however, the evening hours are when they are completely pooped. By the evening most of us are drained, and simply too tired for exercise. Therefore, it is always best to set some time aside for exercise in the morning. In the morning, wake up a half an hour or so earlier, put on your shoes, and hit the road. Most roads are less crowded in the morning and less polluted as well, making it a wonderful and relaxing way to start the day. You should also steer clear from the coffee and try tea instead. If you are moving around in the house, try playing music. You can also redecorate your room by adding a few pictures around. When you redecorate, you should get rid of everything that reminds you of smoking. Plan your day where you'll have something fun to do at the end of the day. It doesn't need to be something that involves money, as you don't want to end up bankrupt. Spending time with family, playing games, or going for a walk with your family are all good activities. Watching television doesn't really fit into the list. The reason is because television isn't something that demands a lot of attention. You can easily do something else while you are watching television. You should also make a list of things that build up your stress and try to avoid them. If it isn't possible, you should try to find out some ways to bust stress and use them. Whatever you do, you shouldn't use stress as an excuse to start smoking. There are many other methods that you can use to beat stress. You can try breathing exercises, meditation, or even music. Another great way to beat stress is using the Powerball gyroscope. If you don't have one or access to one, you can always wiggle your fingers and toes. This too is a great and natural method to beat stress. For more information about the Powerball gyroscope, one of the most powerful and dynamic sports instruments on the face of this planet, please visit http://www.squidu.com/powerball-gyroscope. Healthy alternatives for smoking addiction. Smoking addiction means a person has formed an uncontrollable dependence on cigarettes to the point where stopping smoking would cause severe emotional, mental, or physical reactions. Everyone knows that smoking is harmful and addictive, but few people realize just how risky and addictive it is. Chances are that about 1 in 3 smokers who do not stop will eventually die because of their smoking. Some will die in their 40s, others will die later. On average, they will die 10 to 15 years earlier than they would have died from other causes. Most smokers want to stop and do indeed try, but only 1 in 3 succeeds in stopping permanently before age 60. By this time, much harm may have been done to the body, some of it irreversible. Those who eventually quit smoking usually try to stop 2 or 3 times before they're successful. Only 2.5% of smokers successfully quit each year. The reason why so many people fail to stop is because they are addicted. Being addicted does not mean that you cannot stop, only that it is likely to be difficult. Anyone can succeed if he or she goes about it in the right way. If you're fighting a smoking addiction, you know how difficult it can be to break. But if you are able to replace that unhealthy addiction with healthier behavior, you will find that the battle against a smoking addiction is much easier to win. We consulted the largest team of addiction experts we could find, and were able to bring you a list of the most useful alternatives to smoking that will help you to break your smoking addiction. Try one or try them all. Just remember that quitting smoking now can greatly improve your health. One of the best things you can implement in your lifestyle in an attempt to break a smoking addiction is a healthy diet and exercise routine. Both of these factors will help your body to readjust so that it does not need its dependency on nicotine products. A daily regimen of high-energy exercise will release the same chemicals into your brain that nicotine simulates, and will help to decrease your dependency on the drug. Another factor in breaking a smoking addiction is to learn to eat a well-balanced diet. Smoking decreases your body's natural ability to feel hunger, and so most smokers end up with nutrient deficiencies they aren't even aware of. This is one of the reasons that so many people suddenly find themselves overeating once they have quit the habit of smoking, and end up experiencing sudden weight gain. Make certain that you get a healthy balance of all of the food groups each day, and you will find that your smoking addiction is much easier to break. When your system is not being deprived of the nutrients it does need, it will be less likely to crave the nicotine that it does not. Many have found that drinking a glass of orange juice each time a craving for a cigarette is felt, helps to decrease the intensity of the urge, thereby making it easier to break your smoking addiction. Taking on a new hobby is another great way to help break a smoking addiction. Not only does it offer you the chance to learn a new skill and make new friends, but the learning process itself has helped many people turn their focus away from the things they crave, be it smoking, drinking or drugs. A smoking addiction can be one of the most difficult to break. Make certain that you have a solid support system around you when you decide to quit smoking, and you will find it much easier to put those cigarettes down for good. Roger Thompson writes for leading portal for healthcare, medical, biotech and hospital jobs. http://www.idahealthcare.com/ Health Facts on Smoking, the alarming smoking fact statistics. Each day it appears that there's new research or a fresh study being carried out to alert individuals in respect of the dangerous health facts on smoking. And with each fresh piece of study or new research, there appears to be one common reality: the smoking fact statistics aren't good. When it relates to the health of the respiratory system, the truth is that there's almost no aspect of this system that's left untouched. Smoking fact statistics have indicate that men that smoke can increase the risk of dying from lung cancer by almost 20 times and by nearly 10 times for emphysema and bronchitis and emphysema. For women that smoke, the risk of premature death from lung cancer can increase by almost 12 times, and for emphysema and bronchitis nearly 10 times. A further point to notice is that smoking can triple the chances of dying from a heart-related disease amid middle-aged women and men. Just consider that the risks can be tripled. In addition, smoking will affect the entire body, from the throat and mouth, to the digestion system, blood, and the bones. Except, the saddest health fact on smoking is likely to be the effect of passive smoking, those that do not actually smoke themselves, but are exposed to it from those around them. Each year, the effects of secondhand smoke can result in an estimated 3,500 sufferers from cancer among adults in the US. So if you are somebody that smokes, now could be the time to quit smoking. You can determine that there's not any good news when it concerns smoking, nothing healthy or beneficial about it. You could probably acknowledge the damage that it does to you and anyone close to you once you get the health facts on smoking correct, that is. If you truly want to quit smoking, and are fed up with pills, patches, gums and programs that don't work, I'll show you how you or a loved one can stop smoking with no cravings, no weight gain, and no stress. With our 100% fully guaranteed Stop Smoking ebook, take a look at http://www.givingupsmokingno.com. Why cigarettes are so addictive. Most people now agree that nicotine is one of the most addictive substances we've ever known. And, although difficult to believe, there were many years when the tobacco industry denied this. These days, however, the scientific and medical community has so thoroughly studied tobacco that it's just no longer possible to deny this fundamental truth. Many scientists maintain that our mass-produced cigarettes are equally addictive to heroin, cocaine, and amphetamines. Speaking from my own experience, I maintain that cigarettes are more addictive. Some even say that it's easier for an alcoholic to retire his bottle than it is for a smoker to give up his carton. My experience confirms this also. I am an alcoholic and drug addict. I used to be the guy with vomit on my shoes copping a bag of dope on the corner with a cigarette sticking out of my mouth like an evil spear. I used to be the guy getting tossed out of the bar at last call, or sleeping it off in the police's drunk tank. And, you know what? I put the gin and needles down a number of years ago, but I still actively struggle terribly in maintaining my cigarette quit. What does that tell you? I sometimes marvel that cigarettes are legal while other drugs are not. As mentioned, in my life, I've discovered that cigarettes are more addictive than many drugs considered illicit. They are the leading cause of preventable death. And, there's a huge industry which has devoted years and countless resources in engineering their addictive strength. Yet, they can be purchased at any convenience store, and, often by underage children. Cigarette tobacco as a means for nicotine distribution would be staggeringly addictive even if no other processing occurred. However, big tobacco has gone to disturbing lengths to increase their products' addictive qualities. Thus, fewer smokers succeed in their quits, and, the effectiveness of anti-smoking products is lessened. One method for magnifying nicotine's power is to add sugars to the tobacco. Big tobacco justifies this addition by claiming it enhances flavor. However, Victor DeNoble, who was once a tobacco industry scientist, says that the product of burning sugar acetaldehyde may make tobacco more addictive. Mr. DeNoble performed experiments with rats and provided proof that acetaldehyde was addictive. His research clearly showed that a cigarette compound besides nicotine lead to addiction. In addition, Philip Morris experiments showed the addictive properties of acetaldehyde to complement nicotines. When the compounds are combined, their effect is multiplied. This is why many argue that nicotine replacement methods often don't succeed, because, although they provide nicotine, the acetaldehyde is ignored. William Farone, also a former tobacco industry scientist, suggested that the tobacco industry may be attempting other means to enhance nicotine's addictiveness via other complementary additives. Mr. Ferrone refers to GRA, an acronym for generally regarded as safer to name an assortment of other compounds used to make cigarettes yet more addictive. Some GRA compounds are cocoa and chocolate. They produce theobromine when burned. Theobromine increases cigarette smoke inhalation, allowing nicotine to get deeper into the lungs. It also takes the edge off the smoke's bite. Also disturbing is ammonia technology. By adding ammonia, cigarette smoke's pH changes, turning nicotine particles into a vapor-free base. This vapor nicotine is more readily received into the smoker's brain and bloodstream. The nicotine speed in the body is increased through this compromise of the blood-brain barrier. Jeffrey Wigand, known as a big tobacco whistleblower, said that American cigarettes contain at least 600 chemical additives. Although such additives are thought harmless in food and cosmetics, they mostly have not been examined and analyzed while burned and inhaled. For those who think of our modern cigarettes as simply some pure tobacco that's rolled up in paper, it's time to reconsider. It's more truthful to consider our cigarettes as a highly contemplated, deadly product which took many years and considerable brain power to perfect. And, its perfection leads to more deaths. John Smith is a writer who has blogged about his effort to http://www.stopsmokingsgs.com stop smoking with the help of http://www.stopsmokingsgs.com/category/chantix/chantix. John believes that writing and journaling is an excellent tool when giving up addictive behaviors. His journal can be seen here. http://www.stopsmokingsgs.com. How I Quit Smoking for Good. How I Quit Smoking testifies to personal experience in the nicotine battle. Smoking is a serious problem that affects the entire world. More than 4 million people die every year from smoking illnesses. This means that every 8 seconds a person dies from smoking. Many scientists and doctors have concluded that the effects of nicotine over the human body are very similar to the problems caused by cocaine and heroin. How I Quit Smoking may be your story too. There is professional help found, and afterwards many people write their How I Quit Smoking story. It is a good thing to read and learn from someone else's experience. It helps a lot to see what difficulties one went through and how he/she succeeded. Make their How I Quit Smoking experience a support for others. The How I Quit Smoking scenario usually begins with how it all started. Most of the questioned smokers said that when young he/she thought it was cool. Others started smoking after an emotional problem and thought that if they start smoking they would feel better. Most smokers started when they were young, in their 20s, and evolved from several cigarettes to a packet or more a day. Almost each ex-smoker that is asked the How I Quit Smoking question will answer something different because each body usually reacts differently to similar factors. This is why so many alternatives exist to quit smoking, from the classical cold turkey method to the most weird solutions like hypnosis. People find it so hard to get to the How I Quit Smoking phase, especially because of the psychological factor. Usually a person can eliminate the nicotine from the body, and though side effects appear, this isn't the biggest problem. How I Quit Smoking is personal. It takes time and lots of effort. Reading How I Quit Smoking success stories can help a lot, but don't be fooled by those who sell you relaxation tapes, yoga courses or other alpha relaxation wave treatments. There is good advice that can be found on the internet, and www.davebecksite.com/quitsmokingoffer.html is a great place to start searching. Real How I Quit Smoking stories always help, so if you need more support in your efforts against smoking, join some ex-smokers discussion groups or forums. Any person that defeated this bad habit can answer the "How I Quit Smoking" question, giving you encouraging tips you may need each time you feel like starting smoking again. Then you may be in the position of "How I Quit Smoking." Good luck. Dave has a great system to quit smoking today. http://stopsmoking.freshstartmethod.com/question hop=Beck1. Why? And how to quit the smoking habit. I want to be healthy. I don't like the smell on my clothes. My wife, husband, kids, cat and dog want me to stop. It's becoming more socially unaccepted. The cost is out of control, and the list goes on. These are just some of the reasons people use when they say they want to quit smoking, and some people mean it, but many people have yet to find the reason that will motivate them to finally quit smoking once and for all. Did you know the American Council on Science and Health, the National Institute of Health and the American Cancer Society alone have enough information available that would make it seem insane for anyone to smoke? And there are mountains of information available as to all the dangers and reasons to never smoke again or to ever start. But people not only continue, they even still start smoking even knowing most of the dangers. So health risks really don't seem to be doing the trick for people to stop smoking. So what else might help? The cost of continuing a smoking habit is getting out of control for some people. But then again, when a person has a vice, it doesn't matter what the cost, there are always ways to justify spending any amount of money on something you just can't let go of. Just think about how much money people spend on alcohol, drugs, or things that are absolutely not needed because someone has a shopping addiction. So the cost will probably not be the deterrent to quit the smoking habit. By the way, if you question the term smoking habit, do the research. This is more a habit than it is a physical addiction. How else would so many people be able to simply decide to quit and do so without physical withdrawals and need to be in a program to quit? And people stop smoking every day without any physical pain or issue. It may seem amazing, but it's true. Okay, so let's say that the main reason people who want to stop smoking is they have yet to find the way that works for them. Or, they have yet to find a way to replace whatever it is smoking gives them in the way of pleasure, stress reduction, though smoking stresses the body out completely, or satisfaction in some way. Let's look at some of the ways people do stop, and there are more ways to stop smoking than you may have thought. There is acupuncture, meditation, hypnosis, over-the-counter drugs, prescribed drugs by a physician, nicotine replacements like nicotine gum, nicotine patches, nicotine lollipops, can you imagine? Lozenges and pouches that contain nicotine, herbal supplements, and the old-fashioned cold turkey method. There are more, but one has to wonder if the market to stop smoking makes so much money that maybe not only do the tobacco companies want you to smoke, so do the manufacturers of stop smoking products. Did you know a person tries to quit an average of 11 times before successful? That's a lot of repeat customers for stop smoking products. Meanwhile, the tobacco companies are selling cigarettes to people who try to quit but don't. The bottom line is to first make the decision to stop smoking. Better, don't ever start. And find the way that works for you. And if you don't succeed, try again. You can do it. So for more information, and to submit your story on easy ways to quit smoking, please visit our website http://www.smokingsolutionsblog.com. How to keep your teenagers smoke-free. A recent study made on teenage smoking came up with a figure of approximately 4.5 million adolescent smokers in the United States alone. And that every day, roughly 6,000 children below 18 years of age begin to smoke. Out of that 6,000 children, 2,000 will grow up to become regular smokers. One survey says that approximately 90% of smokers began smoking before they reached the age of 21. To some teenagers, smoking may begin as an innocent experiment, to some it is their own way of expressing rebellion, but it may develop into a lifelong habit that can be difficult to quit. It has been proven that adolescents who regularly smoke have just hard time dropping the habit. And they say that the best way to get kids to stop smoking is to not get them started on the habit in the first place. Here are some tips that can help keep your adolescent children away from the smoking habit. Seek out the reason. Teenagers have different reason to get into smoking. Some do it just to test what it feels like to smoke, some do it because of peer pressure, some in an attempt to feel cool or independent, some because they want to fit into a certain group, and some do it because they are rebelling. It may be surprising, but some teens smoke in an attempt to lose weight or feel better about themselves. It would be easier to know how to deal with the problem if you know and understand the reason behind it. Just say no. Telling your kids that smoking is not allowed may be more helpful than you think. A recent study showed that teenagers who thought that their parents would not like to hear of them smoking were less than half as likely to smoke as compared to adolescents who thought their parents didn't mind. Be a good role model. To make your children believe that smoking is bad, set yourself as a good example. Teen smoking is more common among adolescents who are used to seeing their parents smoke. If you smoke, avoid smoking in front of your children, or don't leave your cigarettes where your children can find them. Tap into your teen's vain side. Although movies may depict smoking as something glamorous and macho, the truth is, it isn't. Remind your teenagers that smoking is a smelly and dirty habit. It leaves yellow stain on your teeth, stench on your hair and clothes, and bad breath. Do the math. Smoking is an expensive vice. Show your teens how much smoking costs on a weekly, monthly, or yearly basis. Compare smoking costs to electronic gadgets, clothes, and other teen essentials to make them understand that they can use that money on other important things instead of buying cigarettes. Explain cigarette addiction clearly. A lot of teenage smokers believe that they can quit anytime they want, but that isn't always true. Teens can become just as addicted to the nicotine in cigarettes as adults do. A recent study shows that of adolescents who've smoked at least 100 cigarettes, most of them would like to quit but are finding it difficult to do so. Tell your kids what's in store. Inform your children of the long-term consequences of smoking, lung cancer, heart attack, and stroke. Not to mention the chronic coughing and other pulmonary tract concerns. The best way to make your kids understand that they should stop smoking is not by giving threats or ultimatums, instead show them that you're concerned about their well-being. Be supportive, encourage them that even if they may find quitting difficult, in the long run, with perseverance and willpower, they will be able to quit the habit and live a smoke-free and healthy life. The writer, Abby Grace Yap, is an active advocate for health consciousness and disease awareness. She possesses a deep passion in discovering new health-related information and sharing it to her readers. Choose variety of high-quality medicines at Online Medicines. Enjoyed reading this article? More here. Pharmacy articles http://www.americapharmacyworld.com/ How to cope with cigarette smoking cravings. According to statistics, millions of people are still addicted to cigarette smoking even though they are aware of its hazardous effects on the body. Smoking can affect the different organs of the body, thus, making a person more susceptible to acquire or develop health complications. Apart from its adverse effects in health, smoking can also disrupt a person's physical well-being. The diseases commonly associated with smoking are cancer, heart attack, high blood pressure, cataracts, stroke, and emphysema. Even those who do not smoke but are frequently exposed to second-hand smoke are also susceptible to acquire such diseases. If randomly question a group smokers whether they are aware of such grave facts on smoking, almost all of them will most likely say yes. On the other hand, many smokers eventually express the desire to quit the habit once they start to experience the side effects of smoking. However, it is not that easy to quit smoking. The process of withdrawing from the habit of smoking takes time. And once a person finally overcomes the addiction from smoking, it is possible for one to still encounter cravings, which might lead to reoccurring of the smoking habit. Managing cigarette smoking cravings after quitting the habit. Cigarette smoking cravings will most likely trigger. These cravings will come and go, hence, it is best to wait for these urges to pass every time temptations to smoke trigger. However, when a person's cravings are strong, waiting for them to pass is useless. The best thing to do in this situation is to develop a coping plan or strategy, in which an ex-smoker should follow in order to get through the urges of smoking again. Below is an example of a solid coping strategy that ex-smokers should follow in order to deal with cigarette smoking cravings. 1. Make a mental note of the reasons for quitting the habit. Once the cravings trigger, always remember the reasons for quitting the habit. Such reasons may be for improving one's appearance, for enhancing self-esteem, as well as for improving health conditions. Keeping these reasons in mind will help one stay focused on the process of quitting the habit. 2. Keep the mind busy. Distracting or keeping the mind busy is the best thing to do until the craving is over. Try concentrating on any activity that will keep your mind away from the thought of smoking cigarettes. 3. Drink a lot of water. Drinking a lot of water can definitely help the cravings to pass, for keeping the body well hydrated minimizes the nicotine withdrawal symptoms. 4. Relax. Instead of panicking, it is best to keep the body relaxed and calm once the smoking cravings trigger. Taking a warm bubble bath, reading a book, as well as meditating are perfect ways to keep the body relaxed. 5. Munch on oral substitutes. When cigarette smoking persists, try to eat oral substitute like celery sticks, mints, hard candy, or gum. Munch on any of these goodies until the craving passes. Francesca V. Pascua is web content writer and researcher who specializes in health and fitness topics. Choose variety of high-quality medicines at ref. http://www.americapharmacyworld.com/product.html, online medicines enjoyed reading this article? More here, ref. http://www.americapharmacyworld.com/articles.html, pharmacy articles. Stop smoking aids can increase your life. The common perception of most smokers is that they will never be able to give up the habit. But that notion is totally fallacious, what with the great number of stop smoking aids available today. Here we discuss some of the most popular of them. Smoking is a vice, we all know that. The amazing thing is that even smokers know what a dangerous habit smoking is, taking a heavy toll on their health, relationships and finances. But still, they will not, or perhaps they think they cannot, kick the smoking habit. However, there are stop smoking aids available today that can actually help the smoker to give up smoking and seriously increase the quality of his or her life. Experts suggest the following aids to stop smoking: support. In improving your own self-determination, you can enlist the help of your family and friends too. Tell them that you are planning to give up the habit. You will be amazed to see how this works actually. When people around you know that you are trying to quit, you will never have the heart to smoke in front of them again, for fear of ridicule or just for the fear of losing face. Joining a social group for smoking cessation could also help a great deal, because they can tell you of several other stop smoking aids that are available. Hence, if you want to stop smoking, the first thing you must have is willpower. Once you have that, half the battle is won. Then tell everyone you know that you are quitting the habit. You will be surprised how well this works. If everyone knows you are trying to quit smoking, you will find it very difficult to smoke in public. You can also join the several support groups that discuss stop smoking aids at length. There is a lot of morale boosting here, which could go a long way in helping you to come off the smoking habit. Medications and therapies. If you are already a long way into smoking, then quitting the smoking habit will become much more difficult for you. Apart from your determination, you will also need to take treatment for the havoc nicotine has already caused in your body. Here, there are many herbal remedies that can help you. The benefit of the herbal remedies is that they will not only repair the damage done in your body, but they will also help to wean away your smoking addiction slowly but surely. A very popular and recommended herbal remedy to stop smoking is smokefree. In order to resist from smoking, doctors would sometimes prescribe antidepressants to smokers. Nicotine replacement methods. Nicotine replacement has worked very effectively in smoking cessation for quite a few years now. With these methods, the smokers are kept on nicotine in the form of patches, gums or lozenges, so that they will not suffer from the withdrawal pangs that might come in. But it is also true that the nicotine replacement therapies will not allow the smoker to give up smoking immediately, that is, they are not fast-acting methods. Since the smoker will still be kept on nicotine to reduce the craving of the actual cigarette, complete de-addiction will definitely take some time. People are also apprehensive about these stop-smoking aids, and question the logic behind using nicotine in a milder form to cure a stronger nicotine addiction. Using alternative smoke cessation methods. Medical methods for smoke cessation are taking quite a setback today, with the numerous alternative stop-smoking aids becoming so popular. Most alternative methods are without any side effects, which make them all the more popular. Ayurveda, the ancient Indian science of herbs, has become quite famous here, and so has another ancient Indian science, yoga. Yoga trains people to exercise mind control, which goes a long way in curing a smoking habit. Alternative stop-smoking aids use a combination of herbal methods and mind control. Aromatherapy and hypnosis are being used largely in some treatment centers for smokers. Formulations like smokefree are gaining a wide market here because of their very positive effects and fast, yet totally safe, action. Certainly, a smoker looking for quitting the habit has several options in the form of stop-smoking aids today. That has made quitting all the more easier. If there is a proper mixture of self-determination, support and remedial help, quitting the smoking habit does not remain all that difficult as it once was. Focused on quitting smoking? I mean really serious. SmokeFree is the most effective herbal quit smoking pill you'll find. 100% guaranteed. 98% success rate based on product returns. Quit smoking herbal today with all natural SmokeFree. It works. Period. http://www.smokefree.tv/. Best way to stop smoking. It is time you knew about it. There are many difficulties for a smoker who wants to quit. One of the first problems is zeroing in on the right method that would work for the smoker. This article tells about one of the best way to stop smoking. Are you one of those millions of smokers who have made a very solid determination about quitting the smoking habit, but does not know really how to go about it? It is a common problem, the decision of choosing the best of hundreds of stop smoking methods. In fact, this decision can actually be so difficult to take that many smokers have simply given up their plan of quitting and have gone ahead with their addiction. Quite a sorry state, if you ask me. Medical science suggests that nicotine is only an addictive ingredient in cigarettes. It does not have any adverse effects on human health. Those honors are shared by tar and gases like carbon monoxide. So, if only nicotine were supplemented in the body, the person would be able to fight the addiction better. In fact, the smoker would not feel the craving for cigarettes at all. And this would keep them away from the health hazards too. But even then, there is a possibility of re-addiction to the cigarette. Thus, nicotine replacement can hardly ever be called as the best way to stop smoking. Medical help often fails in smoke cessation. The most doctors would do, apart from nicotine replacement therapy, is put the smoker on antidepressants. This could backfire in a major way. Some antidepressants are addictive also. It might happen that you lose your craving for the cigarette, but get hooked onto the antidepressants. Even the fact that these antidepressants need to be continued for a long time could be a big deterrent in making this the best way to stop smoking. We can quite rightly conclude that out of the conventionally used quit smoking methods, not a single one can be conclusively pegged down as the best way to stop smoking. Even if some of them could offer a ray of hope at the onset, there will most probably no long-term relief. And, as already discussed, some of these therapies could lead to harmful medical conditions of their own, without even becoming effective in helping the person to stop smoking. But there is a very sure place where this search ends. Most smokers are accordant with the fact that herbal stop-smoking remedies are by far the best way to stop smoking. The reason why this method has not become so popular is that medical science is still doing research on them, and while they have not yet been able to find anything incriminating about them yet, they are not so sure to bring in something for competition. However, it is known to all that herbal remedies are totally safe and natural, and have been used in several civilizations since millennia. That, in itself, indicates how powerful they are as a therapeutic measure. There are several hundreds of herbs in use for helping smokers quit the habit. Street John's wort is decidedly the most popular, due to its natural antidepressant properties. Cinnamon, chamomile and lobelia are also used to a very large extent. These can make the taste of the tobacco in the cigarette so loathsome to the smoker, that the only option would be to quit. With their sudden spurt in popularity, and the evidence of success they are bringing in, herbal stop-smoking remedies are indeed highly respected. Many formulations are making their presence felt, such as Smokerx, which is perhaps the most noteworthy of these, given its success rate. Perhaps the quest to find the best way to stop smoking has really ended in success. Focused on stopping smoking? I mean really serious. Smokerx is the most amazing herbal quit smoking pill you'll find. Guaranteed 100%. 98% success rate based on product returns. Quit smoking herbal today with all herbal Smokerx. It works. Period. http://www.smokerx.tv/ Tips on how to help someone quit smoking. If you know someone that's a smoker, then you do have a good cause to be concerned. Still noted as the #1 cause of lung cancer fatalities in the US. Smoking is also tied to various other frightful types of diseases and cancers. You might then be questioning, is this the time to help someone quit smoking, once and for all? Many individuals are still oblivious to the terrible health effects that are as a result of this habit. One significant point to help someone quit smoking is to have them feeling motivated to give up. What might work with this individual? Are they in the least bit health aware? Have they got small children or grandchildren that they wish to see grow up? Often, all it needs to assist someone is to guide them through the effective ways to stop smoking and to offer them the necessary support. Are they fearful that they might miss their familiar parties and hangouts? Make arrangements with them to go somewhere else. Are they concerned their friends might not wish to stop by if their house is entirely smoke-free? One more way to help someone stop this addiction is the various tools and aids. Quit smoking products comprise of nicotine gum, patch, pills, sprays, inhalers. What you can do is research some of these tools in advance so that you're able to present them when required, and demonstrate how efficient and safe these aids genuinely are. Probably the finest assistance you can offer someone is encouragement, especially if they are someone that has attempted to stop in the past and failed. Let them realize that this is all right, as many former smokers attempt several times before they were successful in quitting. By fulfilling all this and supporting them, you will be successful in your pursuit to help someone quit smoking. If you truly want to quit smoking, and are fed up with pills, patches, gums and programs that don't work. I'll show you how you or a loved one can stop smoking with no cravings, no weight gain, and no stress. With our 100% fully guaranteed stop smoking ebook, take a look at http://www.givehangupsmokingno.com. Quit smoking for your smile. Tobacco cessation is a challenge facing many people today. Often people try to quit many times and for many different reasons. Some are quitting because they have been recently diagnosed with a health condition such as diabetes or heart problems. Others simply want to be healthier and avoid potential health problems such as lung cancer and COPD. There is always a reason to quit, and BBC News just added one more: dental problems. Along with the obvious health risks with smoking such as lung cancer and heart disease, this new study shows an increase in oral cancers, diminished ability of taste buds and rejection of certain dental procedures. Smoking can also cause the gums to recede, leaving the roots of the tooth exposed. Implants work in a similar way to dentures. They are used in people who have lost individual teeth, create a bridge and to create support and a better fit for older dentures. Implants work by functioning as the root of the tooth because they are made from titanium and are implanted in the jaw. They are coated with a substance called hydroxyapatite, which acts as the same chemical makeup of our own bones, which makes implants more effective than dentures. A prime candidate for an implant requires good healing and blood flow to ensure the gum tissue heals properly. Occasionally, implants reject, but this happens more commonly in smokers. Smoking, as well as other diseases such as diabetes, affect how the body heals and how the blood flow, thus resulting in a likely rejection. The BBC News also reported that if a patient stopped smoking before the procedure and for at least 8 weeks after, allowing the tissue to heal properly, it would greatly improve their odds for an effective implant. Implant rejection is not the only problem tobacco users face when it comes to dental care. Other procedures which are affected by smoking can be something as simple as a filling, teeth removals, and gum disease. Antibiotics and topical treatments can also become useless because of smoking, which can lead to more serious problems before, during and after dental procedures. According to a study done by the American Dental Association, 32% of smokers needed to have a filling replaced, 10.1% needed a tooth extraction, and 22.5% needed a major dental cleaning. Smoking can also be a factor in the loss of jawbone, gum disease leading to tooth loss, and increased plaque and tartar buildup. According to WebMD, 90% of patients with oral cancer use tobacco products, and of those 90%, 37% who keep using tobacco products after having one cancerous lesion removed will develop another, compared to 6% of those who quit smoking. Tobacco cessation is the only way to combat not only dental problems but other health problems. Quitting is never easy and a challenge every smoker fears. However, almost every smoker fears cancer too, and quitting won't kill, but cancer will. There are many ways available to quit smoking. Some patients choose to try prescription treatments such as Zyban or Wellbutrin, which can help curb cravings. Others try over-the-counter treatments such as the nicotine patch or gum. Other non-traditional treatments include hypnosis, acupuncture and herbal remedies. Those who are interested in quitting should speak with their dentist or physician to develop a plan and find out what works best for the patient. Since each person is different, each individual plan will be different. Some people use a combination of treatments to quit. It is important to remember quitting is never easy, but the health risks are just too high to not quit now. Patrick Glancy, NGH board certified hypnotist with a focus on quit smoking hypnosis. http://www.quickhypnosis.com http://www.quickhypnosis.com/store/scripts/preview.asp. id product equals 25 Quick Hypnosis, Self-Help Hypnosis on CD and MP3 download. What does it take to break the smoking habit? How do you break a habit? The first step is to accept that you have a habit and then look at the reasons why you have that habit. If you know the reasons, you can then think of better ways to deal with those reasons. The reason why you started smoking might not be the reason why you continue to smoke, so you will need to look at your current situation and look at the things that make you want to smoke. Large portions of the people who take up smoking do so to be accepted by others. After smoking for some time on a regular basis and with the added evil of the addictive nature of nicotine, the original reason might have little bearing on the reason why you continue to smoke. It might be that you now find some comfort in having a smoke, or it makes you feel great when you have a smoke. The next time you pick up a cigarette to smoke, think about the things that made you want to light up. Was it something that happened? And this can even be a particular time of the day, such as breakfast. Was it something that someone else said or did? Did you get upset or angry and feel the need for a cigarette? You need to be honest and answer the questions before you can break the habit. Smoking is a habit and you can't hope to quit if you don't know what the habit is. It is no use simply saying that smoking is the habit, as there are almost always triggers that stimulate the need for the next cigarette. One of the best ways to break the habit is to refrain from smoking when you are faced with the situations or emotions that would normally cause you to smoke. Even if you delay the reaction to these events initially and wait a few minutes before having the smoke, you will be going some way to breaking the habit. You will begin to gain back some of the control in your life that you lose each time you feel the need to smoke. By separating the action of smoking from the event that usually causes the desire to smoke will break the smoking habit. People will often use the excuse that they are too old to stop smoking and assume that because they have been smoking for most of their life it seems pointless to stop in their latter years. What they should realize is their body will start repairing the damage that has been done from long-term smoking as soon as 20 minutes after their last cigarette. Yes, your health will begin to start improving that soon. Within that time your blood pressure will begin to decrease, as will your pulse rate. The increased blood pressure that is caused by smoking is one of the reasons why those who smoke are more susceptible to heart disease. Within approximately 8 hours the levels of carbon monoxide that are present in the blood will drop and there will be increased levels of oxygen, and this will help to improve all aspects of your health, as the blood's ability to transport oxygen to the organs of the body is crucial for optimum health. Things continue to get better as the time from the last cigarette grows, and after the first day there is a reduction in the possibility of getting a heart attack. So if you have just had a cigarette and don't have another for the next day, you have increased your chance of survival considerably. Within 2 days you will begin to regain some of your sense of taste that you probably didn't even realize you had lost. Food will taste and smell better, and your sense of smell with all things, egg, flowers, will begin to improve. 3 days later and you will be having less difficulty breathing, as the bronchial tubes will have relaxed. As your breathing becomes more relaxed, so does your whole body and your outlook on life. Stress levels will be lower and the chance of having anxiety problems will also diminish. Many people will smoke in times of stress and when they are feeling anxious, yet refraining from smoking for such a short period can also bring similar aspects of well-being with the improvements that you will enjoy to your health. Over the next 3 months breathing will continue to improve, and along with that there will be an increase in energy levels and exercising will become easier. After the first year of ceasing smoking there will be 50% less chance of heart disease, and 4 years or so later the chance of lung cancer will have also decreased by 50% or more. The good news is that after 10 years or so your health will more than likely be back to that of someone who had never smoked, and the precancerous cells will have been replaced. Need more help quitting smoking? Go ahead and join a free 10 days Stop Smoking email program that will teach you how to quit smoking right now. http://stopsmoking.fitnesstipsforlife.com/ This report was brought to you by http://www.quitsmokingtoday.com. You are free to reprint, republish and give away this report freely just as long as all links remain intact and no changes are made.